Greetings, everyone. My name is Alea Lindsay Dawn, and this is just a brief introduction to the Third Era Ministry, the White Flag Parlay Ministry and Pilgrimage, which started in the year 2020 as the world changed for all of us. Now, a brief summary of my background. I've been a teacher for most of my adult life. I've worked for both Community and Church of England schools. My last position was early years leader at a Church of England school until lockdown and COVID came. Now, I think we can all agree that life changed unexpectedly and suddenly for all of us. But what I noticed was a split really started to happen. Many people were able to continue in their everyday lives after COVID. Many changes, but they were able to still get on with their everyday activities. For some of us, the world literally turned upside down, and my life completely changed from being a full-time teacher and just getting on with working, teaching Monday to Friday. Then I would have my family at weekends, and I used to go to church. I used to run the Sunday school and Alpha courses for the Methodist Church. And then lockdowns came, and much division came as well. And we were almost forced to follow one narrative, which was that was put on the mainstream media. Instantly, I didn't, everything didn't sit right with me. I was asking many awkward questions, which was my role as a teacher and also a church safeguarding officer, which is the role that I still fulfill today. I was questioning mandates, I was questioning science, and it's really important. And I used to say to my children in my class, that we are thinking critically. Sometimes I make mistakes, all adults and children can make mistakes, and we do. And that's part of our learning here on earth. So I asked many awkward questions, but as lockdowns hit, it became very clear that it was frowned upon to ask questions of a certain nature when you were questioning the mainstream narrative. Now, I have always questioned as part of my safeguarding role, because we need to be sure when we are dealing with the health, safety and welfare of our most vulnerable in society, we must ask those awkward questions in order to safeguard correctly, because there could come a time where corruption happens from the very top. So it's really important that the people are free to question. So basically, I wasn't able to question. So I haven't been in a classroom since COVID, since lockdowns, and haven't been able to return to the Church of England. Now, I felt a spiritual calling at the same time as I was actually forced by outside influence to resign from my teaching career. I had no plans to resign. I was only in my mid 30s at the time, so I wasn't in a financial position, or I just wasn't planning on resigning from my teaching career, certainly not retiring from my teaching career, which is how it's ended up at the moment. So I'm going to speed through this next part, and it might sound a little strange what I'm about to say, and it's still sinking in with me. So I don't expect it to make sense, but I'm just speaking truthfully from the heart about what actually happened to me as the world changed. So I felt a spiritual call. In fact, the room seemed a lot brighter. It's like it was in the book of Isaiah, whom shall I send? And I just remember saying out loud, God, send me, I will go. And I ended up in Wales. I'd had a vision, I'd had a dream about going to Mount Zion, which is, as people who read the scriptures will know, is in the Bible. And actually ended up on some land randomly called Mount Zion in North Wales. So at that point, I started to question what was going on. Is this the time of revelation? I believe it was, and I did raise the alarm to the Church of England. So this is, the world's changing. The whole world has just been shut down. The churches have been ordered to shut down. This isn't right. Somebody listen to me. But because of all the fear and control, the top-down control, no one was able to listen to me or understand me at all, to the point where I haven't been able to return to my school, to my hometown, to the churches that I was part of. So almost as if I've been exiled from my hometown, which is how it feels. Following that, many rumours have spread around about, well, where did this teacher disappear to? Because of the lockdowns, I wasn't able to say goodbye properly. I wasn't allowed to speak to my children and the mums and dads. I just had to disappear. So nobody really knows what happened. So part of this video is to speak out about what actually happened. Like I say, I'm still piecing it together. Anyway, end up in North Wales, actually living in a forest. In a bell tent in a forest, and a caravan, and ended up renting a chapel. It's just been one place to another, but just where I felt my heart was guiding me. And I got to this mountain in North Wales called Mo Vamai. And as I was there, on my phone just popped up the Third Testament. And I was like, right, okay. I've been studying the Bible for many, many years. In fact, my grandparents bought me my first Bible. So I've certainly been reading and studying the Word of God for most of my life. But the Third Testament, I'd never heard of that. So I was really intrigued, and I've spent the last 5 years studying this book, this scroll. And as you read the book of Revelation does say that there is a little book of John 10:10 and the book of True Life 20:12. There's also a sealed scroll of Daniel, Daniel 12:4. So this is all more word that is due to be revealed in the time of Revelation, which, as many of us know, means the great revealing. Now, as we've gone through the last 5 years, I feel like I can see things differently from, say, 10 years ago, when I was just blinkered and, oh, which car should I have? Oh, which holiday should I go on? It was very materialistic. But now, it's almost like materialism's been taken away from me, and I can now see things differently. So any schemes, any almost falsehoods that are being brought in, like, for example, trying to dim the sun and spending goodness knows how much money trying to dim the sun when we're not feeding everybody. We've got a system in place that decides who lives and who doesn't, all run by very rich, wealthy people. And it's crazy. And it's almost like now, whoa, you're here to change this. So I'm here today to speak out about the Third Era Ministry, the Church of the People, the court for the people, because the people are losing their voice to a system built up of dead corporations. So these dead corporations are basically telling the people how to treat each other, and it's not good. So if you don't follow these rules, we will take your salary off you and you won't be able to survive. Well, guess what? I did survive, and I'm here now to make these changes. Corporations are void of conscience and feelings and cannot rule over the people. It's time now that we ensure that every single organisation has good-hearted people at the very top. Nobody should want to rule over anybody. Nobody should want to start a war. And it's all to get more of this. There's a lot of profit in harming others at the moment. So collectively, we need to come together. We need to come together and we need to build a new earth for the sake of our children and our children's children now. It's a united effort. Nobody wants to live in a world where there's so much suffering. And I have never known so much suffering. Just looking now at plans to cut disability benefits. What on earth? It seems to be a privilege now to be able to afford food. We've got groups of people being treated better than others when we should all be on a level plane. And it's time now to ensure that we are put on a level plane. So to do that, we need full transparency and accountability of those that are in positions to ensure the people have what they need to thrive, not just survive, thrive. And this is the purpose behind the Third Era Ministry and the White Flag for Parley pilgrimage, which started in 2020. So I'm going to cut this video short now, and I will be uploading more videos about the ministry and how we can all unite together to change this system. This isn't about calling people out. This isn't about he's right, he's wrong, she's done this, she's done that. Are you red pill? Are you blue pill? That's all division and duality. We're in the book of Revelation. It's been opened, and it's time now through the heart and love for one another to come together. Even those that are committing wrong and reaching out right to the very top of this pyramid now. It is time. It is time to bring about a better world. Enough is enough. The truth is being exposed now. The return of Christ is all about revelation, and we can see the cracks, and they're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Make the right choice. If you know in your conscience and your heart that what you are doing harms another, it's time to stop. If one ant stands up, they will all stand up. And together, let's build heaven on earth. Thank you.